What's up YouTube, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in 2023, my sponsor Propane Bikes has released the highly anticipated Taille 6, which is their very popular enduro bike. I absolutely love the bike, but fans were really fed up with one thing. So 2 years later, Propane has listened to the criticism and has decided to update the Taille 6 to the Taille 6.1 that's behind me. We're gonna take a look at everything that's different, and we're gonna do a full bike check of my own bike. But first, let's go shred it. Hey, I'm Remy, and this is my Taille. And you, what's your vibe? That's good. I hope you enjoyed this little riding edit that was only filmed in a couple of hours during the only decent weather window we've had recently in Squamish. But if you want to see more riding, stay till the end of the video because I'm gonna take you down a super wet and slippery lap that I did yesterday on some of my favorite trails. Now I would like to apologize about the pretty clickbaity title and thumbnail because people didn't hate the bike. In fact, this bike had excellent reviews in the media and Taille owners really loved it. But there was one big criticism. So to forgive me, I'm gonna give you a free shipping code on the Propane website to order the Propane Taille 6 updated. So make sure to use the code REMY free shipping at checkout. You're gonna be able to save a lot of money, especially in some countries. And talking about discount and codes, I get asked that all the time about some of the products, some of the brands I'm using. So make sure you check out those links in the YouTube description. There's plenty of codes and affiliate links down there. And with the current state of the industry, that helps out my video a lot. So thanks so much for that. So how does that work to be an athlete for Propane? Well, I get paid to ride and promote the bikes, obviously. But also a big part of my job is to help with product testing and feedback. So I'm very often chatting on WhatsApp or per email, phone calls with the engineer, but also the product team. And I was really excited when they first showed me the drawing and the geometry of the Taille 6 early in 2022, because that was a lot of the feedback I had suggested from riding the Taille 5, which was the first bike I've ridden from Propane. So essentially they added a flip chip, which I was talked about because you could ride the same bike either as a mullet or a 29er. They kept the chainstays a little bit longer at 445, which I really liked. And the reach of the bike got very slightly longer. They got suspension a bit more progressive, the frame a little bit more rigid. So I was super stoked about that because that was basically my dream enduro bike. Only one hic though. They asked me what I thought about the integrated cable routing system. I think it's called ICR. And I right away said, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. People are not gonna like it. And myself, I was really skeptical about it because it seemed just a bit more complicated. And the simple solutions that bikes have been having for quite some time work really well for me. So I didn't see the need to change that. But Propane decided to go ahead and to make it mandatory on the TAI to have the cable go through the headset. And when the bike went live, when it got advertised the first time, the comment section on Pink Bike was going absolutely nuts with people completely against what's now called cable tourism. Myself, I didn't quite understand why the answer was so negative, because even though I didn't love the idea, realistically that wasn't bad at all. Pulling the bike together isn't much more complicated. Maintaining the headset, so like regreasing it, doesn't really take any longer. And for now, having riding bikes with the integrated cable routing system for over 2 years, I haven't had any issue of reliability whatsoever. So I didn't really understand why comments were so negative about it. But Propane learned from that. On the spin drift that came out about a year later, they decided to not make it mandatory, to give the option to customer to either have the integrated cable routing through the headset or through standard through the side of the frame. And this was super well received. So they decided to update the TAI 6.1 with that same idea. So you can either run the cable in the headset like I used to do on the TAI 6, or classic like I just did on the bike that's behind me. And I think that's awesome that Propane did that. That shows a lot about the company. So now let's talk a little bit about riding feel and another update. So who is this bike for? Well, this is for your typical enduro rider. This bike's got 160mm of travel in the rear, 160 or 170 on the front. You can go either mullet like myself or full 29er if you want the extra rolling speed. This bike is super light, it's fun, but it's also very capable and it's quite stable. So if you want to race enduro, this is a great choice. If you enjoy the riding in Squamish, Whistler, but also Moab, Sedona, Finale Ligure, the Alps, really anywhere where you got long, difficult uphill to access to long, gnarly downhill, this bike is gonna be really the right choice. In the Propane lineup, it sits in between the Eugene, which is a trail bike with 140, 150mm travel, and the Spin Drift, which is their bike park free ride, big enduro bike. I have a question that comes back very often is, why would you choose the TAI over a Spin Drift, vice versa? Well, I'm gonna give you an example. Behind me, you got a super gnarly feature that I just opened. There is going to be a video about it in a couple of weeks, which I'm super excited about, so make sure you check out that subscribe button. And for this, I decided to go for a Spin Drift because I challenged myself. There was gonna be a gnarly impact and I wanted something that was gonna put me in the maximum confidence possible. But for my everyday riding, this is my daily driver because it pedals super well and it is more playful. Now let's have a quick look at the geometry. So this is a size medium. It's got 455mm reach with a 160 fork and 451 with a 170. Chain stays 445, which I really like because that gives me a really center position. I feel that gives me a lot of confidence coming into the corner and the faster section, while keeping the bike super playful because of the 27.5 rear wheel. And the bike is super capable because the head tube angle is still at 64 degrees. So yeah, overall, it's your perfect enduro bike. Now let's take a look at some of the super cool parts I have on this bike and do a bike check. Okay, bike check. We're gonna start with the wheels for a change. So this year I'm running the Project 321 G3 hubs. The quality of the things have been absolutely unreal. When you take a look, it is super well designed and engineered. It's got some really cool features. I'll talk more in length about it, but it's got 288 points of engagement, so it's pretty instant. Whenever I do technical riding and I need to put a little pedal crank to go over an obstacle, increase my speed before a jump, it's been really cool. It is really smooth, fast rolling. So far I've done no maintenance whatsoever and the wheel spin amazing. So I've got those hubs built up with the Noble TR37 rims. So those are the Enduro rims from Noble. Noble is also a new partner out of Cumberland. Recently I've done a video and I talk about the relationship with them. Those wheels have been super reliable so far. I really enjoy the riding feel. It's light, playful, and yeah, I get really good feedback. It's rigid without being too rigid either, so it allows me to still get a good amount of grip, but it gets the bike really dynamic, which I enjoy a lot. Tire wise, same combo as always. I've got a Maxxis setup, DHR2 on the back, Assegai on the front. This is probably the most popular combo out there, and for good reasons. I've got double down casing on this bike because I want to keep the bike as light as possible since I pedal it mostly. 3C grip, of course, and tire pressure. I keep changing it a little bit depending on the riding I do, but for every day I usually go 23 psi on the back, 21 psi on the front. I feel that gives me a good support and reliability. Now we're done with the wheels. We're gonna take a look at the suspension. So we've got the DVO Onyx 38 SL, low speed, high speed compression. I'm pretty much set up in the middle. I run 68 psi, 2 tokens. I feel like my rebound is fairly fast for most people. And also I should mention I'm 141 pounds, so that's probably around 63 or 64 kilo. So overall my setup is, I would say, a bit stiffer than most people, but this bike I definitely run it a bit softer than my spin drift because I don't push myself on the riding as much as I do with the spin drift, so I keep the bike a little bit more plush. On the back we've got the Topaz Gen 3, it's got low speed, high speed compression, and I run 2 tokens on the positive chamber as well as 178 psi. That's it for the suspension. Now let's look at the cockpit. So those are the new one-up components carbon V2 handlebars. They just came out. They have more compliance than the previous version. I cut them at 738 millimeters, and this is a 35 millimeter rise. On my spin drift though, I just switched from the 35mm to the 50mm in order to be a little bit higher, especially when I do gnarly stuff like what's behind me. It's paired with a 35mm stem. For seat post, we got the one-up V3 post, 180mm post. You can shim it down if you wish it to give it shorter, but on this bike I don't need to do anything, so 180 fits me perfectly. Talking about cockpit, for the seat, we've got the Ergon SM Enduro. So that's the size small medium. It's got the all slick rail, which matches really well some of the other features on the bike. For the grip, we got my all-time favorite, the Ergon GDH. You can find, by the way, all those products on Jenson USA. So make sure you check out the link down below that support the channel when you use this link. Now for brakes, the Ace Dominion A4. This is a purple edition. You got the purple caliper as well as the purple lever, and you can save 15% on the Ace website using my code RemyRidesAce15. I think it's something like that. Just check out down below. Those brakes have been incredible. The feel of the lever is incredibly light. I don't think there is any other brake on the market that's got such a light feel with as much power as these do. The modulation is incredible, which is extremely important. Power is great, but if you can't control the power, it doesn't really add anything to your riding, and that can be actually an issue. But when you get power and modulation, you got a killer combo. So I'm super stoked on those. I run 203mm disc front and back. Oh, also, I just noticed I forgot to mention something. Propane has also updated the brake mount adapter because some of the brake brand out there are making bigger caliper, and therefore this is gonna fit with every brake out there, and it's gonna make it easier to adjust the alignment between your disc and your brake caliper. Now moving back to the actual frame, obviously my frame is protected by ride wrap. Every single bike I use is protected by ride wrap. It is a transparent film that protects your bike from scratches, transport, dirt, rocks flying, really anything. It really helps you to keep the value of your bike. When you go and reset it, your bike still looks like new, and also that makes cleaning the bike easier. What else we got? We got a mudhugger. This is a long Evo. I got a ton of questions about it. This should be mandatory on any mountain bikes. It protects your eyes, it allows you to see the trail better, it keeps the bike a little bit cleaner, it protects the seals of the fork. Definitely get one. What did I forget? We've got a KMC Aura SL 12-speed chain. We've got the rotor Capic cranks, 165mm length, 30 teeth oval chainring. We've got, I'm no longer representing E13, but those guys are nice. So I'm using their new trail bike chain guide, as well as the E13 Helix R 12-speed cassette. This is a 945. We've got a Shimano XT 12-speed transmission that I purchased on Jenson USA. Same, check out the link down below. And of course, a word about the pedal. Those are the Time Special 10, and those are the size large pedal. They just give me extra support, extra confidence when I'm riding, protects my ankle. The feeling of clipping in and clipping out is incredible. I absolutely love the attack system. We've got a Topic Ninja bottle cage. Wow, one go, I think I've done pretty good. Oh, before we go and ride, obviously I forgot to mention something very important. The tie still comes as an aluminum option or carbon, which is what I have. There's new colors, Pigeon Blue, which is the bike I'm currently riding. You got the classic raw black as well as a deep sea color. And for the aluminum, you got wooden rose, midnight blue, and aluminum raw. There is a bunch of different build options, but the propane bikes are fully customizable. So make sure you check out the link to the website. There's some pretty cool build kits. Now let's go and get muddy. Okay, let's go for a fun ride on the propane tie 6.1. It's gonna be slippery. So this is Power Smart, by the way. That was the blind stage of the Squamish Enduro. Oh, it's insanely slippery. Crazy. Still a fun ride though. The bike is really playful. It is shorter than my spin drift, which makes it a little bit better for cornering at slow speed. Wow, some pretty tough conditions for Squamish. Usually not like this, but beautiful. I've got a set of double non tire, and so the feeling of the wheels is quite different from the downhill casing. But yeah, this is cool. Back on the 35mm rise. I've got a 50 right now on my spin drift, so a bit more weight on the front. It's cool. Okay, let's go back on Power Smart. As you can tell, the bike is still super quiet. Propane's done a really good job at keeping the cables locked in so they don't rattle. Wow, I could see tire marks. Someone definitely went off this. I missed the high line. Almost looped out. The chain ties are 445 though, but the bike is very playful, especially as a mullet. Sorry for my riding. Conditions today are, it's cold, slippery, unpredictable. So I'm riding really tense, really tight. The one and only Gloriole. Nice. I set up this bike more plush than I do on my spin drift, just because I ride it a little bit more gentle, but it still does really well on bigger impact. Super capable. Okay, now I'm going to ride one of the steepest trails I know in Squamish. It's gonna be gnarly. It's gonna be very slippery today. Oh my god. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's insane. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was so gnarly. Holy. That was crazy. Geometry of the bike definitely helps. It's quite slack on the front. Low center of gravity, so... Dude, that was insane. It's like peanut butter.
I heard you coming down like, oh fuck.
I was trying to like modulate the braking so I will not lock my front wheel. Yeah. And when my rear wheel will lock, I'll try to let it go again so the tires don't really fill up and I can like control the speed instead of like basically being out of control.
Yeah, that was my issue, was I locked up and just caked the tires.
Yeah.
And just like slicks.
Yeah, once you lock up the wheels, you have to let go to just make the wheel spin again so you can regain control, but it's hard to do. Shout out to my brakes. There is Dominion A4. Make sure to check out the link down in the description. There is a discount code so you can save 15% of those, and they've been incredible. On to load on. Yeah. Such a fun trail. It's a very nice rebuild as well. Okay, little bonus. Cheers, Doug, for the trail. So epic. Woo! Thanks everyone for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did, make sure you subscribe, like it, leave me a comment, and make sure you check out the links down below that really support the channel. Thank you so much for that. Next week's video, we've got some super cool trail preview coming up your way, a place I've never been before, and I look forward to going back. See you soon.